Hey everyone, it's Deanna with a layout for the Crafty Maven Getaway group, and I am working on a Scraplift of a layout done by Mari Clark, and I showed that in the beginning of in the intro of this video. In the beginning there was 2 slides that was the inspiration for the week that I'm doing, which is the week of August 16th, and then there was the layout by Mari Clark, and Tina, Gail, and I teamed together to pick that layout. So we both are doing a video for the Crafty Maven Getaway where we are scraplifting this layout. So alright, so right now I am using some of the Heidi Swap, I don't know what you call it, it's like a paste, and it's metallic, and I have a pink, a blue, and a silver, and I'm using that to add some circles to this layout. And I did add gesso before I started recording, so there's gesso on that page to protect the cardstock. So I have to tell you that before we had picked the layout that we were going to Scraplift, I really liked the inspiration that we were given for this week. Mostly I liked the color, and I also liked the script lettering. Those were the 2 things that really stood out to me. And so I was trying to actually, I actually did the same that I did last month, and I created a kit based on the inspiration, and was trying to work with that throughout the month. And then when we picked the layout that we were going to Scraplift, the one that was by Mari Clark, I was so inspired by that layout. There was so much on that layout that I wanted to Scraplift, and so I started to get a little less inspired by the inspiration pieces. So I really struggled with it for a while, but I decided to go ahead and just take a little bit from both, whichever I wanted to do. And I do apologize if you can hear my dog barking in the background. I swear every time I start one of these videos, she thinks I'm talking to her, so she runs around the house barking. So moving on. What I ended up doing was I let myself be, I basically just told myself to go ahead and take whatever I was inspired by and use just that, instead of trying to use a bunch of one. And what ended up happening was I did end up using a lot of the layout that we were scraplifting and less of the inspiration piece, and I'm good with that. I did end up using the most inspiring part of the inspiration, which was the script lettering. So, and I've been really into using this color scheme lately. I don't know if it's a trend or if it's just what I've been pulling out. I know last month the inspiration that I had for my week used this color scheme, so I think I might have just gotten stuck on it. But I really like it, that kind of aqua blue with the pink and the black and the white. I love it. So one of the things that was so inspiring for me about the layout by Mari Clark was the circles. So I'm not somebody that typically uses circles on my layout. In fact, I see layouts that I absolutely love where they're putting tons and tons of circles on there and just kind of layering them beautifully, or having them kind of span out on the page, and I think I love it when I see it, but I just can't seem to do it myself. So usually I have a lot more blocky layers, things like that, but I decided that I was gonna really encourage myself throughout this process to make sure that I used the circles, because I wasn't forcing myself to scraplift everything about the layout, or pushing myself to use things that were in the inspiration piece that I didn't want to use. So But that one, I really wanted to push myself to use the circles. So I did do that, and I'm really glad that I did. So right now I'm just working on trying to build that block of papers. And I wanted to make sure, because the pink and the blue didn't seem to have a lot of contrast against that white paper. So I ended up using that silver paper, and I do use some of this vellum with the hearts. And that worked well, because I believe on the layout that I'm scrap lifting, she had used some like different textured paper under the picture too. So I'm just laying that stuff down, trying to get it to fit, and I still am not 100% happy with the contrast. So I'm going to actually ink those layers. I don't ink the glitter paper, but I ink the pink and the blue paper, and that helps. It doesn't, it's not perfect, but it helps a lot. It helps a lot. And I was hunting and hunting and hunting for another piece of that paper. What I ended up doing, even though I had made a kit this month based on the inspiration, I completely went away from that kit, and I used scraps that I have a container that's just filled with different scraps of paper, and I used what I had left of that pink sheet of paper, and I was sure that I had another piece of it somewhere, but I could not find one. I really wanted to use it to add a couple more circles, but I just ended up finding another piece of pink paper that worked out. So now I'm going to play with those circles and try to get them lined up how I like them on the page. And I as I'm scrapbooking, I always watch YouTube videos, and so I've got my monitor right in front of my screen there, or right in front of me, and I have the layout, I'm like jumping all over my words. I have the layout up on my screen, so anytime I get stuck or I'm not really sure, I can just kind of pull that up and look at it. And which was very helpful in the process of trying to put these circles down, because I don't do it. So, I don't want to say I'm not very good at it, because how would I know when I don't do it? But, it's just not something I do on a regular basis. So I was using the layout to help guide me on how to layer the circles and where to put them. And that was very helpful. Then pretty soon here you're going to see me show you several pieces of paper where I had tried to do the script lettering, and trust me, that is not even a tiny portion. Well, that's what it is. It is a tiny portion of what I had actually played with. Probably spent I don't know how many hours trying to write out the different sayings. And of course, well, it wasn't different sayings. I was doing the same saying over and over and over again. And I was really struggling because I was trying to write small. And I'm not, I'm just playing with the script writing with the paintbrush, a lot like a lot of people are doing right now. And so, I'm no expert on it, that's for sure. And I was just trying to make it so that it was readable and actually looked like script writing. And so I had like a circle that I had written on and some other squares, and I ended up going with this tag, which worked out great because on the page that I'm scrap lifting, she had actually done a tag also, and it really helped to be able to kind of look at her page and see where her placement of the tag was. And I ended up moving that black circle with the hearts, the smaller one by the tag. I moved that up top, and that was another thing that I had kind of taken from the layout, Mari's layout. She had, kind of clustered those hearts around the tag. So And I like the way that looked. So right when I did that, I was happy. It was like quick. I was like, yep, that's perfect. And then I'm just adding those last couple circles. And another part of the layout that I really liked was she put her title sideways, kind of on the side, on the right hand side of the photo. And I really liked that, and I was trying to find another way to incorporate some more script writing, and so I was looking at some different acrylic shapes that I had and things like that. And here I'm digging through that little container on my desk, just trying to find something that would go well there. And I ended up deciding that I was going to put a title there similar to what she did, but use this script thicker font, and it worked out great. So I'm just going to use the word waiting. I'm going to lay that down. And I really like it because, again, it just brings that script writing on there. I really, originally, when I had first seen the inspiration, I wanted to do a page that had big writing down the right hand side of the layout, and so when I had decided to go more with the actual scrap lifting of the layout, I knew that I wasn't going to do that big blocky lettering, or not blocky, but a big block of lettering down the side. I knew that I needed to shrink that up, and so I was glad to be able to bring that in with the title too. So here I'm doing my journaling, and I wasn't thinking about this, but I use like felt tip markers or marker pens, and on top of the gesso, the marker doesn't completely dry, or doesn't dry very quickly. And so here I'm going to go put the layout on top of a black piece of cardstock, and in that process I end up smearing the writing. It's not really bad, and you, like, even looking at it now, I can hardly tell, but the other thing that I notice is that the ink is not as dark, so it's not as black. It's almost got like a gray or blue tint to it now. So just keep that in mind if you're writing on top of gesso, that it may not come out the same as you're used to with when you're writing directly on paper. And again, I am really sorry if you can hear my dog barking. I'm pretty sure you can, because she is very loud. This is the second time I've done this narration though, so I'm really hoping I don't need to do it again. She is just a little troublemaker. I swear she thinks I'm talking to her or something. I'm not really sure why she starts barking when I start the narrations. She did it during the first narration too, and then the whole time between the narrations she wasn't barking at all. She just does it when I'm talking. Alright, so here I'm taking, I took some of those enamel circles, or epoxy circles I think they are, and those were in a Studio Calico kit that I think I've had for a little while. And the letters, word stickers are from Bella Boulevard that I received in a Scraptastic kit. And so I just added some of those on the page, kind of scattered them about. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the enamel dots. I'm going to add silver, it's kind of sparkly or glittery silver, and some black. So I am pretty happy with the way this layout turned out. I'm really glad that I went with my gut and just tried to scrap lift the layout as much as I could. I think that it was a good exercise for me to do, well, first of all, to scrap lift the way that I did, and also to use those circles on the page. So this is pretty much the end of the layout. I know I'm thinking there, but this is really the end, and I'm just going to do some quick close-ups, and there are some still shots coming up. So I just want to thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope you guys are enjoying the Crafty Maven Getaway videos that are posted daily. I've been having a lot of fun working with this group, so I just want to say thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.